For me, if I'm looking at this just as the chart as it is, right?
Mhm.
Where is my support and resistance, right? That's the question. I would say here is my major support, right around here. That's around 95,000. Let's call it, like you were saying. And then my resistance, I'd say somewhere like just looking eyeball, right? Right around there. That looks like a good range to me of where we're at right now. Okay? So then we can separate, right? Then we can separate that premium and discount, right? And just understand that, hey, we dipped below here. We grabbed liquidity from here. We wrecked all these people in here. We even almost came down here, not completely yet, though. So this is my concern. Is if we are to continue here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just looking for this to get acceptance back within here for the weekend, kind of deal. Okay. Now, doesn't mean we can't, push up here. And go. Doesn't mean that can't happen. This could be a major V-shaped recovery, but right now you can see dump, pump, right? Very clear 2 4-hour candles down and up, right? So that's very much a V-shaped recovery. We got some bullish. I wouldn't even say it was bullish news. The market just pumped on it, right? So interesting enough, here we are. And we were talking about the sweep, right? We were talking about if this, then that, right? I'm just trying to be prepared and looking at this as well. That we came down perfectly to where we said we would come to 92.5, right? So look at the volume node. Remember, we said that if we do come lower and we clear out through here, right, through this area, you can see the block of volume in here. Okay, so that's why we're thinking range within here, right? You see the volume, lots of price action traded in between here. So when we get below or above, we look to get acceptance back into a range. Okay, so if you look at where volume hit here and we go perfectly across, we tapped this volume here pretty much perfectly. We draw a horizontal line here pretty much perfectly to the top of that volume. So I always talk about shelves of volume, right? So if you have a shelf here, I would say there's a shelf here, a shelf here, and it's always where's price action irrelevant to that shelf. So if price action, if this is your volume, okay, and price action is above, so you're trading up here, it's going to be the top of this, it's going to be a shelf. The top of this, that's going to be a shelf. Okay, if you're trading below, okay, let's say price action's down here, the bottom of this, the bottom of this, the bottom of this is going to be resistance, right? It's going to take a little bit of effort to get above, a little bit of effort to get above, and a little bit of effort to get above. Same thing on the way down. It's going to take a little bit of effort to get below, a little bit of effort to get below, the same way. That's how I like to treat volume, just acting as, very basic support and resistance, but with a little bit of volume to back it up, right? That's why I like the volume profile tool on TradingView and on obviously our chart prime indicators, which is quite strong as well. And you can see here we came down, we tapped it, and then we bounced, right? And now we're back up into this volume node in here. Okay, so if this, then that. Now, can you believe I'm doing 4-hour analysis to start, OC? Oh my God, aren't you proud of me yet, or what? Come on.
Absolutely, brother. I love it.
So we were talking about premium and discount, right? Money flow. Okay, look at that. Money flow, point of control, very sticky. So we're back into the sticky zone, right? Too much price action within this area suggests that price action is comfortable here, right around 97,000. Okay, so chopping within this area here. We'll see how that goes on today. Now, of course, I was favoring shorts, right? Why are we favoring shorts? Because we're in a downtrend, right? We're in a downtrend, keeping it pretty simple, right? So when we go over here and we're looking for shorts, let's get into the trading day today. So this morning you come to the charts, you see that Bitcoin's flying, right? Bitcoin, we have, bear flagged or bear pennant, however you want to treat it. And I was able to long here last night. Okay, and I was looking to long here last night as well. I did not take it. I took a scalp right here. but I did not trade this last night. And obviously we came back up, we retested the highs in here, and then we rolled over. Okay. So rolling over here, this is a V-shaped recovery on the 4-hour that we just identified. So getting into this, taking off our predictive ranges. And what's interesting to me is one thing I do like to check that does tend to work sometimes, because I trade intraday, right? So when you look at Bitcoin today, okay, you see over here that Bitcoin is down 0.1%. So we started the day, okay, we started the day right here. This was our start of the day. UTC 0, 0, 0, 0. So if we started our day right here, right, this morning we were down minus 4%. This reading over here was minus 4%. Okay. Now we are break even for the day, which is kind of interesting in my opinion. So we start the day bearish, obviously, and we recover, right? So now it looks like Bitcoin hasn't moved at all for the day, but it has. So in a situation like this, when you're so overextended to the downside, and we know this because we have been dumping, and everybody's very well aware of that, okay, that you're typically going to get some sort of relief. Is this complete relief? I wouldn't say we're out of the woods yet. I would like to see some bullish market structure, maybe on like a 4-hour here, where we start to make, maybe we make a high up in here, and then we put in a low, and then we start to push up. That would be more bullish in my opinion, right? But we have still this very aggressive downtrend. Okay, so until we really break that, I'm still remaining cautious. I think being range bound until maybe until Donald Trump gets in, but let's remember, I mean, a 20%, whatever we had here, 15% corrections, it's pretty good, right? We had one here as well, right? 15, 14% or whatever. So nothing to be too worried about. I think if we get, daily candle closes below like 80,000, that's when I'll start to worry a little bit, but nothing until then. Now looking at this, and we had our VWAP on this morning in our areas, and we continue to push. So we got our news right here, okay? And we had reclaimed VWAP, lost VWAP, and reclaimed it again. So the long was really, so the long was down here on the breakout, I would say. If I was looking like how I would have liked to trade this, now no trade this morning, but how I would have liked to trade this is I would have either liked to long off of this or to long right here. This would be a VWAP retest continuation sign of strength. Now I was looking for the bearish divergence, break down and trade and short. Okay, this is what I was looking for. Now I was wrong today with the short, but if I'm tracking momentum like I've shown you guys how to do a million times, right, from the low to the low, momentum was never broken. So what is my rule with momentum? My rule with momentum is if I'm in a long, there's no reason to, so if I was long from here, there's no reason to close my long until momentum is broken. That is one of my rules. You guys have heard me say that a million times. So as soon as I get my significant low in here, right, there is no reason to close my long until momentum is broken, meaning candle close below here on like a 5-minute, okay? No reason to close this, right? If I was short from up top here, right, my momentum would be from the high up here to the next significant low, which would be here. So I could be out here. Okay. I could also wait for this one here. I could be out here. Okay. But my next significant low is going to mark that out. Momentum to the downside. Now this is very steep. So I would look for a strong low, which this might be a strong high in here, but I'd be looking for to close that trade in here. May not get all of it, but you get a lot of it. Okay. And that's kind of one of my rules. Now we have not broken momentum all the way up here. We continue to push really So there was no reason to short this thing. Makes sense? Even in live, right? Even in the live, I'm like, oh, higher high, higher high, looking for a triple top in here, right? Golden pocket retracement level right at the highs. Okay. We got clipping, bearish divergence on that, I believe the 3-minute in here, right? All reasons to go short here. But the number one reason not to go short here is there's no break of structure. There's nothing telling me, hey, we're going down yet. Okay. There's nothing telling me we're going down yet. I think Little Fish asked me about this as well in our Lucky Deal asked me about this as well. So in my Discord about why we didn't go short here, right? And look, bearish divergence clipping. Which way is the trend, right? The trend is up. There's no break of structure. There's no okay, this is yeah, of course I would like to short this. But there's no we haven't lost this low. We haven't broken the momentum. There's no reason to go short here. Right? Of course, we're at a golden pocket, rejection zone. We got clipping. We got a couple confluences. But there's nothing saying, hey, we're going down here. Okay, so price action is always going to be king. We talk about that quite often, right? Our indicators are to help us, right? We also had a nice order block in here this morning, and we blasted right through that. Okay, so continuation, and then now where are we, right? Ascending triangle. Momentum still hasn't been lost, right? Ascending triangle. Take the stick, put the stick on the thing, right? You're coming up. This says you're coming up to 100 grand almost. Pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. So we just remain patient, right? If you want to get on the trend, you get on the trend. And how do you do that? So for me, like I said, the ideal trade would have been VWAP retest in here, stop loss below here. Very easy continuation trade. Okay. It's getting a little bit harder as we get further and further along the upside momentum. Expect this thing to come back and at least revisit previous highs before continuing. Okay. Always be prepared for that, especially I would say third leg. So you got 1, 2, 3, right? Kind of deal. So third leg is this in here. That would be my third leg, right? If you do Elliott wave theory, which I'm not a big Elliott wave theory, right? Your second leg's the biggest and your third one's pretty short, okay? So you typically get your quick one, then your long one, and then your short one, and then you correct, okay? ABC. So be careful of, longing the top, as they say, or just getting in on the trend a little bit late, all right? Your long was somewhere in here coming up. Maybe it was a break of the highs, whatever it was in your trading strategy, but it was that breakout, retest, continuation, right? Right now we're getting, trying to break out, retest, continuation, but we're very overextended. So right now it's no trade, just trying to be patient with price action here. And for the short, if we're looking for the short, I'm looking for break of the trend, break of the lows, retest back in, and then coming back for all this liquidity in here and making everybody cry because thinking we're going to come up to 100,000 already, right? If this, then that, right? And try to be prepared. And that's kind of how I've been treating my morning. I guess you can come to work now, see what's going on.
Oh man, I was having a great vacation. Oh,
just retired. It's
Oh,
Friday.
oh man,
Nothing
I
to do.
need to
Just
have
chica
a
bonita. Go buy some appliances. Domesticate. Oh
no more
yeah.
appliances, please. No more appliances. Oh man.
Feel the
Uh,
phone.
no, not really. I'm feeling pretty comfortable with what we said. I mean, we are right now below the dynamic reactor. Let's do a little recap. For some reason, my automation on uploading to Discord is been failing. I just noticed it. So I just updated the 18th and the 19th on the Discord, right? You might have heard a bing right there. Nonetheless, let's take a look at what I got on the screen. And if I can make this work. Can I? I guess
Share.
so. I think this is it. All right, let me see. Is
There
this
we
it?
go.
Nice. All right, perfect. It is.
You're sharing
So,
Discord.
am I sharing
You're not
Discord?
sharing your screen. You're
No,
sharing
I
Discord.
no, I'm sharing my screen because here's the video thing, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So let's take a look at
Recap.
what. Yeah, exactly. Let's take a look at where we looked at yesterday, right? By the way, remember that Alex and I had almost the same exact zone right here. Just want to pull back, right, and show the result of the introspection, right, or the look back on yourself, and also to try to cover when your weaknesses. Remember that yesterday I told you guys that despite we were looking at something and then the breakout retest was imminent, and then at the last minute it was like, oh, a downtrend. How did I not look at this, right? So we do, or I do take a step back and then say, all right, what else could I be missing? Remember, introspection is a very important part of your trading. Marking, doing your diary, right? And this went into my diary, missed the downtrend because I was looking at the breakout retest, right? So I missed the opportunity of looking at my oscillator. Was it a hard zone? Absolutely. Absolutely. Still, I would not be shorting that unless, as I said yesterday, unless we are breaking below the dynamic reactor, and we have. All right. So let's just take a quick look here. I'm not gonna be pushing the volume, but let's just do maybe captions. So just basically, whatever. Let's just keep it short. Right here, we had a possible head and shoulders. And remember that neckline was cricket down to the right. This is something that I catch from Alex. I learned from Alex. Oh, that he said, you know what? When I like the most when it's leading to the area that I want to break down, right, or break up. So that was something like it ding on my head, like ding, like that sticks. That's very very truth, right? I never looked at it that way, but now that I go back and watch it, that is very, that's for me is worth adding to my own analysis. So that's exactly what I did. Looking at a cricket flow to the down right, head and shoulders, and usually head and shoulders pattern breaks to the downside, right? And we did the measure movement, and then I also told you guys, remember the measure movement that was overshooting something around 85, 87, something around those areas. I told you we should always be looking at a little bit less of that measure moved into what we have as a support and resistance. And I show you guys all of the areas of support. And my question was, do you think that we're going to go through all of that bunch of confluence? Or do you think that we're going to be just going straight through all of these levels of support? And I told you, I think we're going to, for a couple of them, right? And my what I'm going to be looking at, and right here I showed you, it is going to be the flip of the ribbon, right, at any of those supports. So let's do that recap once again, very quick. Look at that. Where did we had that flip of the ribbon? That flip of the ribbon happened a little bit earlier, somewhere around here. And remember that I was looking for an extended, and I still look for a daily extended flip of the ribbon or double bottom, right, like this. Let me also just clean this up so we can see it much easier. There we go. And what happens? Right at the support, right at the liquidity zone, right at the bottom of my box in here, right? And perfect breakout right here, perfect bounce. And now we are basically confirming that this is a hammer candle, right? How can I say that? Look at that. Everything that was lost was regained and a little bit more. Let's go to something like the 6 hour or the 12 hour that we can see that candle. Well, not 12 hours, maybe daily. There we go. There's a daily candle. Look at what a beautiful candle. It is not all said and done. Also, remember that right here is where we start looking at my support and resistances on the daily, right? So what am I looking here for? A possible flip of the ribbon. And if we have flip of the ribbon with this candle, guess what? At least I'm going to be looking at a dead cat bounce, at least, most likely at a double top, right? So, is it played out as we were expecting? Yes. Thanks to what? Thanks to being humble in the market, right? And saying, you know what, I might have had the opportunity or the chance to play it out a better way here. So let's go back one step, right? Not think that I'm the god of trading, right? Be on my place and then say, where can I improve on my own trading? Where can I improve on my own analysis? We did that and we have a great result, guys. I mean, it was just as expected, right? Head and shoulders. Let me just get rid of this. Head and shoulders at 4 hour, beautiful breakout, right? Head and shoulders, beautiful breakout, area of support, flip with the ribbon, going for the double bottom here, and then pushing through that dynamic reactor. Not quite there yet, not quite there yet, but we could be looking at that. Let's do now, once again, that retrospective situation, right? And at this point, let's go back into and see the previous analysis that we have made in the class. So for that, let me get started right here at the daily macro view. In here, let me show you something. Once again, as I've been saying the whole week, as you've been noticing that every single time I say this, we go down, right? But guys, I don't want to be the bear of the channel, right? I don't want to be the bear of the channel, but we need to plan for the worst case scenario. I've been repeating this since I think Tuesday. Right? So what would be my worst case scenario? Look at this. Oh, come on. 1, 2, 3. 1, chop, and 2, right? 1, 2, and 3. 1, chop, and 2, right? Let's zoom in here. Where's my chop? This is my chop. This is my 1 right here, all right? So what could I be expecting for the worst case scenario? A breakdown, right? Do I have that breakout? Not quite there yet. I mean, could be, right? Then a bounce, and this is the dead cat bounce that we're talking about in 4 hour closer look, right? If this happens, just like Alex says, if this, then that, right? If this happens, we're breaking structure. We are confirming rounded top, right? We are confirming lower high, right? We also broke right here the structure by breaking the previous low. So are we looking for maybe a 50% retracement, 30% retracement? That will be my worst case scenario. All right, so how am I going to be tackling that worst case scenario? First of all, where am I at? 18, where I'm coming from, 26 to the dynamic reactor. Let's compare that, right? Something like, well, it was a little less. I know exactly the same. Look at that, 26, right? All the way to a 54% retracement. All the way to a 54% retracement at the previous highs at 69, 70, 80-ish, right? I don't think that this is going to be the case just yet. All right, this is a little bit alarming, so let's just go step by step. The first thing that we need to confirm first, it is that we have a beautiful week, right? This beautiful week will indicate a bounce to the upside. How far? We took us like 1, 2, 3 days last time, so maybe throughout the weekend, maybe. I would say that maybe 1 or 2 candles downwards, like tiny itty bitty candles, or 1 slight candle, 2 slight candles, like micro bullish candles, and then the movement. So I would say that by Monday, Tuesday, we already should be all the way at the top here, at least, right? And then we need to be careful. Why? Because we could be drawing that downtrend line, all right? What is up next? Well, then, just preparing for a possible rejection. So maybe taking some profits out, setting your stop loss, whatever you need to do. And then if we break up, aiming for, now it comes the next possible situation. This is what I grabbed from here. Remember? Oh, where I grabbed from here. Remember? That is it. Let's Control C this. And also look at what I told you guys here, or remember what I told you guys here. We could be looking at a possible double top going all the way back down at 89, the same area that we were talking about on the previous analysis. And why is that? Because we have this double top trend line playing out in here, all right? So is it fantastically accurate? No, it's just a 2-point trend line, right? But could we maybe call could we maybe call this low as this low, and then from here have, as we already have it figured out here, and then from there have the double top? Could be. I wish this would be the case, but remember, the market doesn't move on my wishes. It only does what it's going to be doing, right? It's on me to be prepared for both or three cases scenarios, right? If this is the case and we don't have a dead cat bounce, because the dead cat bounce would be lower, if we have a dead cat bounce, will be something like that. But if we don't have that dead cat bounce and we have a continuation to make a double top, I think that could get us back at for an early breakout. In this case, I don't think it's going to take as long to break back up, but I think that we could be looking at a potential 126, 150, almost 200 target, somewhere around those areas, right? Again, we need to move piece by piece on the puzzle. We need to see what's going to be the next checker move or the chess move of Bitcoin, so we can prepare the trap. And what is the trap? Opening and setting up our longs, up or taking some profits, or opening and setting up our shorts. For my case, I will be thinking of setting up a short up here with a very low leverage, because we're pretty freaking bullish, right? If we get there, we're pretty freaking bullish. Still, I'm going to be planning to open up a short just to maximize my profits, right? And because I will be doing trading against the trend. That's what I'm going to be doing the shortest possible stop loss that I can, the lowest possible leverage that I can, and the lowest possible entry that I can, right? Still taking the risk, but I'm preparing myself, reducing as much as I can on what I can control, which is how much am I going to be allocating, right? I cannot control direction. The only thing I can control is how much in risk I put myself on. So let's go back once again to the 4-hour, closer look. And the spot, having see all of the possibilities, so ranging, dropping, right, going to zero, or just bouncing to heaven right now, the fact of the matter is we are at exact same point that we were yesterday. That's it. Did you bought? Did you survive? Are you back on zeros, right? Did you short? Did you survive? Did you take profits? You're back on zeros, right? This seems to me liquidity hunting. This seems to me that market makers are pushing it for lower liquidity. This seems to me, feels like, and let me make sure that I'm telling you, feels like, because I haven't looked at the data, it feels like, so this is an opinion, it feels like this is somebody trying to push for a cheaper buy. And who could get or who could be interested on cheaper Bitcoin? Other than us, right? Other than us, or ETFs, right? ETFs. So what's going to be the game plan here? For me, I'm going to leave this as is, and I'm going to jump into a higher, maybe some higher, higher risk allocation. Why? Because in this point, since I'm seeing the flip of the ring already playing out, and maybe a short movement overshoot and then break back down, I might take a little more juicy trade or something like Link. Let's go to the 15 minutes on Link. There we go. This was our last trade. Remember that I told you that I was waiting for flip to real. Did not happen, so we did not enter in this last trade. Let's remove that. And also let's remove my indicators just for good measure. Look at that. We are making the push. And just a couple of minutes ago, we had a goose head. We are retracing, but we're holding this area. Now it's time for me to start using my indicators. What do I have here? A trend line. It's not about the breakout. It's about the retest. Possible entry as I have flip of the ribbon. Right here, 21.99. Let's set my alert right there. There we go. And then off we go to the upside if I can see that flip of the ribbon. All right. How far could it go? I'm planning to catch it TP number 1, TP number 2. If I can make it all the way to TP number 2, that will be a base case scenario of 15%. I'm gonna be doing 10x, so that would be 152% a little less, right? Because I take 50 out, so I need to cut this into a 75% profit instead of 170 and 150. Still pretty good for what I'm looking for. I'm bearish, guys, and I'm doing counter trading here. This is dangerous. This is danger, Will Robinson. All right, this is not a signal here. I'm telling you what I'm expecting to see for break structure and continuation. So can you show us how to create an alert in TradingView like price touching dynamic reactor? We have a video on that, but really, really, really quick. Remember to go watch the video tutorials. Here's it's not that I don't want to show you. By the way, I will show you, but I cannot spend that much time in here because we need to move into the next topic. But yes, let me show you chart prime tutorials. Here we go. You'll see alerts there. Also, very quick right here. If you do docs, well, you have chart prime docs chart prime. Let me paste that for you here. You go to get started, and then you can go to, for example, alerts. What is it? I think it was in Market Oracle. I'm not quite 100% sure. Alerts. There we go. And then you have the step-by-step on how to create the alert. All right. Very quick. If you want to create the alert, you need to go into your indicator. Click on the gear icon here. I know it doesn't look like a gear icon. Go all the way down and set whatever you want as an alert. For example, I want bearish quantum and bearish candlesticks, right? This is not a combined alert. This is not a combined alert. Whenever you have bearish quantum, this is gonna fire any number of times. And then also, when you have bearish candlesticks, it's gonna fire any number of times. This is not a matter if they both played out together. No. This is just basically each separate, just to save you to create multiple alerts, right? Just remember the ones that you are creating. Click OK. Remember that when you create the 3 dots here, or click the 3 dots and you add alert, whatever time frame you are in, that's where the alert is going to be created at the settings that you just did. You cannot modify your alert once it's been created. So double check that. Very, very, very extremely important. You need to be in any alert function call. That's it. You don't touch it. If you got it, you didn't touch it. Alert name, Market Oracle Plus, version this, and then you have what is it? Well, you have all of the settings here. So you just change it to Market Oracle. Let's just say it, Market Oracle, right? 1.2. And it was bearish candle and bearish, what was it? Quantum reactor, right? You give it a name, you create, there you go. And that's it. You just created, come on. It's not log, where is it? Oh, alerts. You just created your alert in here and it's gonna fire on the daily, all right? So let's delete it because I'm not gonna be using that. And then you just rinse and repeat. Easy peasy. Nonetheless, you have it already built up. This is going to be also uploaded, so check it out there. What else am I looking at this point besides Link? I could be looking something like ADA, right? ADA is basically doing the same thing. I'm betting for ADA to break up. In fact, you can see that my goose head, I was expecting it to be a little bit farther up. It is pushing right now because of that goose head. But the way I see it, unless I break to the dynamic reactor with strength, sorry for that, unless I break it with the dynamic reactor with strength, I'm not going to be jumping in. If I shyly make shy candles, short candles going through, I'm not jumping in. I will be maybe taking a short at that point if that is the case. But I need to see a big body candle like this. Big body candle pushing through, then going for the retrace. That retrace is going to be my entry. All right. Those are the two ones that I'm looking at. I haven't looked at anything else yet. I will be maybe scouring for some opportunities, both long and short. And that is because of the V-shaped recovery that everything is following along Bitcoin. And I think Bitcoin still have a little bit to go, and that little itty bitty will be a bigger reaction on altcoins. So other than that, let me drop this down. And let me ask you, Alex, what are you looking at, and what is your opinion on this weekend?
I think yeah, spot on. I mean, even talking about yesterday what we even with that basic fractal that I used the other day, right? With the retracement, where we're at, what we're looking for, right? If we're looking at what I was talking about too yesterday, right? I talked about, I'm not a big fan of fractals, but if anything, I was looking at this. I dragged this over here. I said a little bit more steep, right? So when looking at this, we said a little bit more steep. So let's make it steeper, right? And looking very similar here. And look how far down we actually came, right? So, I mean, even more than expected, right? We could make this as steep as we want. But at the end of the day, we had the exact same thing and then continuation in a weaker environment, in my opinion, right? In a weaker environment. So if we're looking at this thing here, we've gotten something like this, more volatile, right? We've swept the lows and then looks like we want to continue. Now, like OC said, if Bitcoin is somewhat recovering, okay, back into this range, then what else can we look at, right? So we know some things have, more bullishness, I guess you'd say, than others. I mean, look at Sui. Incredible.
Oh man, I should have looked at that one.
Incredible. Like, fucking hell, 30% up, baby. Let's go. And I mean, I hold a lot of Sui, full disclosure. I rotated most of my Ethereum into Sui, and so far so good. Right? I rotated a lot of my Ethereum into Sui right here at $1.60. Okay, and that's a lot of money that I put in. So great buy for me, but nonetheless, we have narratives, right? We have narratives that have been bullish. As much as I hate to say this, but we have XRP, right? XRP. Can you believe it?
Man,
The
to be
fucking
honest,
shit coin.
Oh shit! I'm also impressed
Hey.
with XRP, to be honest, my friend. I mean, I need to put it out there.
Look at the bounce, right? Look at the bounce. We're up already 15%, right?
Yeah.
Scroll through, take a look, right? Some things are bouncing better than others, right? That's the thing. Virtual. Retesting previous lows, okay? Virtual. Rocket shipping, right? Rocket shipping. Maybe your last chance to buy under 250 right now, right? We'll put a circle here. Alex O Crypto said maybe your last chance to buy under 250. That's the things. Be brave when others are fearful, okay? Be brave when others are fearful. Ondo. Holy shit, man. 20%. Larry Fink coin, right? Right? I mean, Pepe. What's Pepe done? Pepe might be a good buy right now. Look at that thing. Stop loss below here. A little swing trade on Pepe. We'll see if we get back up into, point of control of this range in here. I think that's a pretty easy 2-to-1 trade for Pepe. Right? So go through, find your shit that you think is going to do well. Brett, oh my God, what a deal. Okay, so let the dust settle over the weekend, in my opinion, but, be brave. Be brave. Be brave. Look at Beam coming back into here. Same thing, 30%. Strong narrative, right? So I think Ton had some good news too. So there's a lot of things in here that have moved. Jasmine, another one, coming back. Perfect retest. Okay. On Link like OC said, 50% back up to the highs, right? Even shitcoin Cardano, 70%. Don't go and buy Ethereum. OC, I sold Ethereum right here.
Holy shit, man, that is freaking amazing.
Are you not entertained?
Okay, yes, I do recall that sale. Oh man, that
Oh
was
man,
fantastic.
right? I also laddered. Okay, so I sold here, right? I sold 25% here. I sold 25% here, and I sold all the rest here. Okay. You should ladder out just like you ladder in. Okay. If I seen a break of structure in this, I'd be 100% out here or here, right? However, this, I mean, coming all the way up here, I'm like, I'm gone, man. This is easy, right? So laddering out as you ladder in, same thing. DCA in, DCA out. Allows you to not feel so much FOMO. Like if I sold everything here, imagine I'd be like, fuck, man, I could have sold at $4,000. I could have made another, another 30%. It's a lot of money, right? Especially with big dollars, right? So if you're, and with little dollars, it's still a lot of percentages, right? So, I mean, ugh. Can you believe it came back down to $3,000? What a shit coin. Oh, man.
Yeah,
Ethereum, man.
Yeah, I know.
Imagine how Larry Fink's grandmother feels right now when she bought all the way back over here. And she's break even right now. Right when, Larry Fink's grandmother over here, Larry launched and she bought, and then she got rugged, and then she's getting rugged again. I mean, I'd be pretty upset. Sad grandma. So we want to pick winners, right? We've been shown what the winners are. Okay. Solana, under $200. Are you kidding me? Easy 4x, in my opinion. Right? And that's a safe bet. That's a safe bet. Okay. AVAX. AVAX. My God. Easy 5, 6, 7x to highs. 3x to highs. Yeah.
Man, AVAX,
So-
dude, that coin ripped me out like big time when in the past cycle. Dude, I trusted AVAX and he just did me dirty.
So you don't like AVAX. H bar.
you
What
know.
about? Whew. So there's a lot of winners out there. Is what I'm trying to say. I think Near is probably a really good buy right now too. I like Near. 3x to the highs. That's pretty juicy, man. I hold Near as well. OP, Arbitrum, all of them, all the ETH layer 2s looking strong as well. Don't fade ETH too much, right? I wouldn't buy ETH. I would buy Optimism, Arbitrum, maybe what's that other one? Arweave? No, not Arweave. Any sort of like DeFi on that, but these are the things that I would keep in mind, right? And not trying to even Render at $7, man. Whew. I think Render can go to like $40 at least. So you guys gotta do your own research, but there's some opportunities out there. Sui, my God, looking juicy. Going back to Bitcoin now. Guess what we've done? What have we done, my friends? We have broken the momentum finally. Okay, so now looking at this and how we look to trade this is where's our key levels. So if we're going to mark this out, we have a top coming in here. We're going to go from swing low to swing high. Okay, we're going to populate this with all of our goodies here. So let's put that on. All right, so we got a nice order block, a loud order block down below, right? Retest the previous highs with an order block liquidity zone. So this would be my first area that I am looking for alongside with a 382 bounce level. Okay. Support and resistance, popping that up. Let's see what we got here. Coming down to retest support right now. Lower part of this range. Okay, so this is a hold spot as well. Maybe looking more down at 382. This looks juicy in here. So this would be my first idea. I'd be like, if we are going to get long, it would be here. If we are going to get short, it would be a continuation of this rejection. Okay, so that would mean retest, continuation down, at least into here. Most likely into here. Okay, into our golden pocket for that retest. This to me does not look like bottoming structure. Okay. That's the thing. That's why I wanted to get short this morning down to here. Because for me, I would like to see double bottom, triple bottom, retest, continuation, off we go, right? I want to see some sort of bottoming structure. Right now, this is coming back to wreck all the leveraged longs. Everybody's like, okay, we're going back up. Here we go. Here. Oh shit. Right? So for me, looking for strengths, retest to previous highs. I'd be looking around this 96,000, 500-ish area. Okay, expect volatility. This is wild right now. So lower your leverage, lower your position size, use good risk management, okay? But for now, looking good. Any sort of retest now could be that hopium pump that you are looking for, okay? So keep your eyes on the prize. You guys got a whole bunch of tokens that I just suggested you go and take a look at and have a peek.
Absolutely. We're running out of time.
What are you doing? You're just buying XRP.
Absolutely, just buying stuff now. No, just kidding. I'm gonna be holding off for the weekend. Yeah, I mean, if I eat throughout the weekend, mostly Saturday night, if I see something interesting, I may be posting on the Piper Academy. But I really doubt it. I really doubt it. I'm still, I've been enjoying my weekends for the last couple of the past 2 weeks because of the lack of sleep that I had throughout, the Black Friday stuff, and I found that I have a better performance throughout the week, right? So the important thing is, guys, remember, Alex is putting his money on the line. So am I. This is not money that we receive and put out there. This is our own money, right? And as with any trader, I'm gonna be looking into my best interest. I don't care what happens in the market if I'm not prepared to trade it, right? And that's something important I want to push. Also, Iscariot, you're right. Let me just read that out loud and acknowledge that. I think that's important. He's saying, were you guys going to go over strategy tester and using 3 commas? Yes. Very sorry, we did not have the time. I thought that by 30 minutes ago we would have the space, but with this huge drop that came after the what we call out yesterday, I think it's a great opportunity especially for the new members or members that are learning, right, to see how that introspective works for you, right? Because for new members, it is more susceptible to lose money, and we want to get you guys up and running in not losing money, right? I mean, I think that is the first key. It's not about winning the trades. It's about not losing the trades. Because when you stop losing, what is the only outcome? Winning, right? So thinking outside the box, when you start preparing not to lose, you set stop loss, you move your stop to entry, right? And then what? You stop losing. When you prepare for winning, you aim higher, right? You have a freaking huge stop loss, right? You add into losing trades. So the perspective of where you jump into a trade matters. And after this huge dump, I think this is a great opportunity to say, hey guys, we are trading with our own money. This is how Alex is doing it. This is how I am doing it, right? Regardless of what happens in the market, this is my strategy. This is how I stay strong, right? And so on and so forth. But I do have a little bit of a golden nugget for you guys, or a little bit surprise. I started talking about that. Before I jump into that one, Dagat DT, I want to make a shout out because he also, in fact, he called that before we went into the introspective part. Dagat said, we lost the 100K. We're going to, what you mentioned? 80K? Something like that, Dagat? I don't know, man. You kind of like freaking nail it, like spot on. Yeah, I'm reading. I'm reading. So shout out to you, brother. That was freaking amazing. Love it. So he's also saying I bought the top in virtual on the hype. So that will be a stretch for you, my friend, because man, you're amazing at trading. All right. So by the way, when you see Dagat typing on the other channels, listen to what he has to say. This guy is freaking awesome. Other than that, let's go to the nugget here. I'm gonna be sharing with you guys this. This is a Traders Post IO. If you're doing stocks, I think this is a great platform. Still, remember, still a little bit involves that extra knowledge that you need to practice, right? So you need to go back and forth. Sometimes just be very, very careful when you are following the instructions. Sometimes just a tiny little dot that you miss, that makes the whole thing change, right? And the other thing is Alertatron. Alertatron, it is a different platform, almost exactly as 3Commas. It's a little bit easier, right? But it has more restraints. But for US based traders, man, fantastic, fantastic. This is not me recommending you. That's why I'm sharing you this right from Traders Post, which is its almost direct competition, right? So Traders Post versus Alertatron, right? So you have a kind of like a cleaner perspective. It's not like OC told me. Here is the pros and cons, right? Something important, it is that at the moment of this, right, I think they already have added something else. You can, this is for crypto. This Traders Post is stock, futures, options, and crypto, all right? I still like way better Alertatron, just so you know. But I'm not leaving 3Commas because I was born with 3Commas, and that's what I feel comfortable with, right? I've used it long enough. For me, I'm staying there. It gets Bybit, Binance, OKX, Speedcat, Bitfinex, whatever this is it. I haven't heard of it. Femex, BitMEX, and BingX. I think you guys have access to BitMEX throughout a VPN, all right? Also, there it is, the rest of the things. Go ahead and watch it, see which one works the best for you. Compare it to 3Commas, please, right? And that's kind of like an extra thing that I want to push. I'm going to try to do what we promised on Monday. So Monday, I'm going to be talking about a little bit of pairing, setting up the caveats on the layer strategy, how it works, and then just preparing to 3Commas. The 3Commas pairing is going to be another video. Other than that, I'm going to stop chatting because Alex has another video to be. Yeah, we also have Plus members have another video to be at. And then after the fact, I think we have another class to assist.
Yeah.
It's a
It's too much for Fridays, man. We got to
too much
talk
for
to Alex.
Fridays. Yeah, a little bit, right? So guys, thank you so much for jumping in. Iscariot, thank you for bringing that up. I think it's important for you guys to keep track on what we're supposed to be learning and to keep us all also in track on what we should be teaching, right? Other than that, guys, thank you very, very much for being part of the class. Alex, any last words before we run out of here?
Yeah, have a great weekend. We'll see you guys on Monday. Make sure you be careful and use good risk management, and we'll see you guys then. Take care.
Absolutely. Guys, thanks so much for joining. And as always, see you guys on Monday this time.